Hello, 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 and welcome to the Oscars episode of Culture Chron-versations. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, pretty
good.
How are
you?
I'm doing well. As always, I'm your host, Miranda, news editor with the Columbia Chronicle. And as always, here today with us is...
Micha Thurston. I'm the advertising manager for the Chronicle.
And standing in for our usual panelist, Mike Rundle, is...
Hi, I'm Ethan Sandock, and I'm a videographer for the Columbia Chronicle.
Heck yeah. So guys, today I want to talk about the Oscars. This is coming up. It's next week. There's a lot of buzz. And there are a few things I want to talk about first before we get into nominations and predictions. So first, as we all know, there was a lot of controversy about Kevin Hart hosting a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of buzz, a lot of backlash. And eventually he stepped down from hosting, and there was the big question of who are they going to ask to host next, and then they didn't ask anyone. So this year they're just having these clumps of celebrities present in between awards, which I don't fully understand is how that's going to work. And I'm what do you guys think of this? Because I feel like it was a cheap way for them to get out of trying to find an actually better host who would have been better representation and less controversial. So it felt like the cheap answer, but also maybe no one wanted to host the Oscars.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like every year there's the Oscars just goes down and down and down in terms of what's the word? Worthiness? I don't know. Something similar
to that. I agree.
I'm
less excited about the nominees this year than I have been in the past years.
What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I guess I honestly didn't even know that they hadn't found someone else.
Yeah.
I just figured that they had. The Oscars, I guess, isn't really even on my radar. Like you said, it's kind of just been going down in terms of I don't know if credibility is the right word, but what's the point?
Yeah, I think there has been so much backlash against award ceremonies in past years, especially with the Oscars. There was the Oscars so white thing. There was a bunch of things about how they don't nominate enough female directors. I think that they have lost some credibility in terms of are they actually awarding this to the best picture, the best actor, or is it just it's entirely subjective?
It just seems like every year it's wrapped in controversy, and it's not about film anymore, and it's just it just really takes away from the art and the meaning of the Oscars. I don't know.
True.
It's just become a big kind of ego fest. Look at me, and this is as much noise as I can make during this time where all these extra cameras are on me.
Classic Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's true. And I feel like that's going to be even more true when they have these clumps of celebrities presenting awards, because it's just going to be them being who are let's get all of the big names instead of trying to ride it all on one person who might have some controversy around them.
Yeah. And then they'll only have 10 minutes or probably not even that, and so they'll try and get as much as they can about themselves and what they're doing, and look at me for my 10 minutes.
Exactly. And speaking of timing, and at this point I think they've walked back their decision, but there was a lot of controversy about them having some awards such as cinematography and editing during commercial breaks, so those recipients wouldn't get to actually make speeches.
Be on air. They would just be at
they would do the thing where it's after the commercial it'd be oh, here's all the people who won, but they give 5 seconds to each of those people's speeches.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is awful. And Ethan, I kind of want to hear how you feel about this specifically, because I know that you are a lighting person.
I mean cinematography is what I came here for originally.
Right.
And it's I understand the whole wanting to cut some of it down for time, because a 3-hour awards show is kind of ridiculous, and nobody has time for that.
It's true.
But at the same time, if you're gonna do anything, it really better be a decision that you've sat down and you thought about, and I can't imagine that much thought was put into cutting the awards that are the backbone of film, is the camera work and the editing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that they all sat together in a boardroom and thought, this is a good idea.
I think that just goes to prove my point of how it's become just like this glam fest because all three of us have been on a film set, right?
Okay.
The actors don't do anything.
No.
They show up and they read their lines. I know that there's a lot that goes into their performance, but like you said, the real backbone of a film is the cinematographers, the lighting people. I don't know the exact word.
That's fine.
The editors, the sound mixers, the people that are behind the scene that are putting this story to life. So that's just such a slap in the face to filmmakers. That's really sad.
I know, I'm definitely going to butcher the pronunciation of his name, but Guillermo del Toro. Maybe almost
enough.
right?
Yeah,
kind of
Guillermo
right?
del Toro.
That was close.
So he was tweeting about this situation. He was saying, like, it's ridiculous to cut out something like editing, which it's so seamless that people literally don't realize how important it is to the structure of a film.
Oh, definitely.
But, like, it's incredibly important. And for them to, like, completely disrespect editors who've worked their whole lives to do something that is, like, ultimately a very thankless job already. Like, it's like you said, Ethan, I think that, like, it's just, we give so much credit to the actors, and they really are just the face of the film. They aren't what is actually, like, constructing the production.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's really sad to think that, like, the Oscars is just trying to give less and less credit to them.
Yeah.
Like, I really wonder what was said in that conversation. Like, why did they decide that those were the categories that were unworthy of airing? You know?
V-time? I don't know.
It's true.
And the big part is the third category that was also being cut, besides cinematography and editing, was makeup, if I believe.
Oh, wow.
Which it was either makeup or wardrobe. And I mean,
Man.
all of that is like beyond thankless.
Yeah, really.
Like jobs. Editing, you only notice it if it's a really bad job.
Yeah.
And like
It's true.
And
Yeah.
likewise, if you can see the makeup like that they're doing to heighten this actor or actress's face, like then that's bad.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to notice good makeup.
It's supposed to be seamless. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be something that, like, doesn't stand out, and because it's not, like, that glamorous thing, people just think it's not as important.
Yeah. Not like the makeup Oscars were really worth anything. Because, like, last year what was it? Suicide Squad won over, like, a Star Trek film.
That's true.
That had, like, full prosthetics
Yeah.
and, like,
Isn't that crazy?
Jared Leto had "haha" written on his
and
forehead.
Harley Quinn had, like, her star or whatever.
I don't remember
It's excellent
that.
makeup.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, like, that also blows my mind. If it was wardrobe, like, in a year where The Favorite is nominated and the wardrobe for The Favorite was outstanding, like, it's crazy to me that they would think of disrespecting those people. And, like,
Shout out to the Academy.
Yeah, really.
Was Black Panther nominated for wardrobe? Because
Actually,
I
don't
know
Let
that
me check.
the woman who did the wardrobe put so much thought into it with incorporating different African tribes and nations into each
the
piece.
wardrobe
Like each
was
piece was
amazing for Black
specifically designed to represent a different African country.
Costume design, yes. Black Panther
Cool.
was nominated for
Good.
costume design. Her name is Ruth E. Carter, if anyone's wondering. Shout out Ruth.
Ruthie.
Name drop.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's really sad. And I mean, I don't think that, like, no one is going to want to watch, like, a 3 to 4 hour ceremony.
No.
But, like,
I do.
It's still, that's the thing.
I
like,
watch it every year.
it makes me sad to think that, like, any categories have to be shoehorned into the commercials. Because, I mean, like, the Columbia Chronicle just went to the Illinois College Press Awards this weekend. And there were so many categories during the, like, 1.5 hour award ceremony that I didn't care about. There were a bunch of sports awards that I knew absolutely nothing about.
Yeah.
And totally wasn't listening for. But I knew that, like, for the people who did care about them, like, one of our managing editors, Blaze Mesa, like, I know he really cared, and he was, like, paying a lot of attention. So you should just respect the people who it does matter for. And, like, if it's not for you, that's okay, but, like, I don't know. It doesn't have to be all about the celebrities. It can be about the people who worked really, really hard to, like,
And
be on
behind
air
the
for that.
scenes.
Yeah.
That also reminds me of like how they cut people off during their speeches.
Yeah.
Like they'll give like best director, best actor, like endless time.
It's true.
And then like when we do have editors go up there, like people that you wouldn't recognize because their face isn't on the screen during the film, they always get cut off. Like always. I remember when Adele won Best Song, I believe, a few years ago.
Yeah.
Her, like, the person who actually wrote the song came up and tried to speak, and they just cut him off. And then she said, "Excuse me, you guys didn't cut me off." So she let him speak. So that just reminds me again of, like, how just another way that they show who they value and who they don't value.
It's true. That's why, I mean, like, as a writer, when I see how little respect like best screenplay gets. It breaks my heart compared to like best director. Like just they wrote the damn film.
Yeah, they
and you
did.
cut them off
Yeah.
after like 15 seconds of speech. I don't know. That
Yeah.
it makes me so sad. But you know, moving right along. let's talk about actual nominations.
Let's continue
so-
to be angry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that I will get angry
100%.
when certain things lose. But well, let's start with like the big stuff. So I'm going to read off some nominations to you guys.
Thank
So,
you.
Best Picture, Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, A Star is Born, and Vice are all nominated.
Okay.
So, I think I'm guessing that Roma is going to win.
I did hear
Because-
that
For
was
Best Picture?
incredible.
Yeah.
I could see that for sure.
It's gotten so much buzz, and this is going to be my response to a lot of these things, but I have not actually seen it.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
But I heard it's incredible.
But I did hear it was amazing, and a lot of people are just saying it's very, like, classically good cinema. So I think
It's on Netflix, I believe.
it is on Netflix.
Yeah,
It's
I think
a
it's
Netflix-
only on Netflix, right?
Yeah, but they did have, like, a theatrical release for it, so
That's
it
right,
could
that's
get
right, that's
nominated
right.
for an Oscar,
Oh,
which
good.
is really funny. And I have heard that, like, it deserves to be seen in theaters, which is interesting.
Yeah, they
Not
played
on
it.
your
I
iPhone
believe
at
they
2 in the
played it
morning?
at the Music Box, actually.
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was probably on, like, some fancy millimeter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you guys want to win out of those? And I can reread them. If you want me
If Beale Street could talk, which is not there.
to. Right.
That's the only thing I want to win. Everything across the board. Just an incredible film, and I didn't see its name enough in those nominations.
It's
I'm very
true.
upset. But anyway,
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel more disconnected from the Oscar nominations, like, more and more every year.
Yeah.
And that might just be because, like, we're in college. I don't
Right.
have the money to go see all these movies.
True.
But, like, at the same time, like, it's kind of like what at least my little subsection of the Chronicle is about. So I feel like I should. But no, I would be okay with Roma.
Yeah.
I agree. If Beale Street Could Talk, should definitely be on a lot more. I was glad to see it in cinematography because that movie is beautiful.
beautiful.
And I would have been really annoyed if it won off air. So
Yeah, true.
Oh my gosh.
That's a great point.
I would have had to check Twitter. Like, is anyone there? Is anyone there?
Yeah, I think that, like, I'm kind of pulling for The Favorite to win. I really liked The Favorite.
I heard that was good,
For a lot
too.
of reasons. It was very well written. All of the actresses were incredible.
Is that
it was
with
pretty
Emma?
gay.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
was
that's
great.
right.
Is that with
Yeah.
Emma
No, yeah,
Stone?
that
Yes,
looked-
Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz.
that looked really funny.
It's very funny. It's written by, actually it's not written by him, but it's directed by the guy who wrote and directed The Lobster. You
Okay.
saw that?
God, yeah.
Get behind that.
So, like, it's not quite as dystopian as The Lobster, but it's the same, like, very weird, like, like edgy
Oh, yeah.
kind of stuff.
Cool.
So that's what I would want. Did you guys hear or see anything about Vice?
I mean, like, I saw the trailers and I thought it looked really good. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I really
Christian-
wanted
yeah.
to see it. Christian Bale is one of my favorite actors, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never did.
yeah,
And he
he
did.
looked real good. as
Well, that's
Dick
what Christian
Cheney.
Bale does.
Like,
Yeah.
He does
it's
it.
true. Like, how can you go from, like, Batman to this? It blows my mind.
But also, I feel like Sam Rockwell made a really good George W. Like,
I
he
believe
looked
that.
funny in, like, the 2 seconds
Yeah.
that he was in the
He
trailer.
did a really good job in the trailer.
He's eating chicken wings or something.
Yeah. I don't know. And we should probably wrap things up, guys. But are there any other categories you want to touch on? Anything that's important to you?
Just one really quick.
Animated short?
No, that's
I'm always okay with that.
Short? I don't know the animated shorts. I will say I want Spider-Verse to win the animated
Spider-Verse,
I heard that was
absolutely.
really good.
feature. Yeah.
That
It's
is
amazing.
worth
Everyone should see it.
every penny in the price of admission.
It's so good.
Just a best original score.
Ooh, yeah.
I definitely want If Beale Street Could Talk. The
Oh,
music in that was just
the score was
Yeah.
beautiful
so
for that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I listen to it at home. It's just when I cook, I'm like,
Damn, that
just
like
beautiful.
that actually sounds like a great time.
yeah.
I'm gonna
really
have to do that
nice.
now.
True.
Please do. You'll feel like you're in a film. I don't know. Whew.
I'm
Well,
about
thank
it.
you guys so much for talking about movies with me for
Yeah.
over half an hour.
Absolutely.
Even if we hadn't watched most of them.
Yeah.
And thank you all for listening. Special thanks to WCRX, Chicago's Underground. And we will see you all again in 2 weeks.
Bye.